Hello and welcome to the Bidfood Kitchen. I'm Joe Anglis and we've got a fantastic session for you today. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody for taking the time out and joining us today. I appreciate it's a really busy time at the moment, so thank you again for coming to join us. However, like I said, I'm really excited to say that we've got a brilliant jam-packed session filled with loads of ideas and innovation with the chef team today, and we're going to be focusing on the spot swaps for your menus. Before I go into any more detail on that, I just want to say that we are, of course, live today in the kitchen. We're not expecting any issues or technical faults, but if we do have any, please do bear with us, because I'm sure we've all been on Zoom meetings and things like that at the moment, and we've all had problems. So please do bear with us if we have anything. By being live, it does give you a fantastic opportunity to speak to our expert chef team here today. We've got Gemma and David in the back end who are going to be fielding questions. So please, if you've got any questions, just ask them in the chat and it'll come through straight to us. Also, I just wanted to mention that we are going to be having a full breakdown of all the recipes, all the products you're seeing today, and that'll be sent to you all in one file after the session. We're using our My Recipe tool through Bidfood Direct, which is a brilliant way of just collating all of that information, all the nutritional information in one document, and that'll be sent to you after this session. Back onto this session, like I said, we're going to be talking about on-the-spot swaps for your flexible menus. And you're probably thinking, what does this mean? And what this means is that we're going to be going through easy-to-create recipes that can be created from backup stock if you can't get all the ingredients that you need on the day-to-day. This is a brilliant process. It's a great process to follow because it means that you have that backup available. There's loads of benefits from having that, such as it allows you to have those backup options. It allows you to utilize your store cupboard and your freezer a lot better. I think most importantly, it allows you to think about that you have a backup of quality options. You can utilize this on special boards and things like that. And then finally, it helps you to simplify things in the kitchen as well. There's so many problems with resourcing and issues that you've got in the kitchen at the moment. Just makes your life a little bit easier. I also must stress that we completely understand that the problems with the food and drink supply chain is persisting. It's a challenge for everybody in the industry. But I hope today we can solve some issues and help to sort of ease some of the pressures that you might find in the kitchen at the moment. For that very reason, for all the challenges that we're facing, we will be going through this session a little bit longer than the other session. So you see this is an hour long. And I'll be talking through Unlock Your Menu, so hopefully that's come up on the screen there. You've seen a bit of branding of that. That is our campaign that we're launching in the next couple of weeks, which is focusing on unlocking the full potential of your menu, but scoping out any challenges that you're facing at the moment and finding solutions directly for that. That's enough of me talking. I'm excited to say that, this is I keep jokingly saying this is the headliner slot because it's the longer session. So I'm glad to be joined by an ultimate rock star, the man, the legend, that is Damon Corey. So
thanks,
welcome,
Joe.
Damon.
Thank you.
It's brilliant to have you on here. So can you go through a little bit about what you're going to be showing us today?
Yeah, sure, no worries. So it's my first time, as you know, in Bidfood Kitchen. And the plan for today was to try and come up with, quality shortcuts using ingredients that you can have in your dry stores and your freezer. Trying to cut down your hours in the kitchen. All I'm hearing, I'm hearing a lot of, is labour saving. Yeah. And also payroll's going up because chefs are demanding a bigger wage at the moment because the demand has increased for them.
Absolutely.
So it's about finding a way how you can come up with solutions in your kitchen that are going to take that labour out but still give you a good quality result at the end. And hopefully we've got it good today. I'm a fresh cooking background, and before I came to Bidfood, I did a lot of everything was fresh cook. And if you told me that there's a tomato sauce in a can or there's something else, and I always used to struggle through, and back then there was still a struggle on resources. You're always short-staffed, but now it's absolutely condensed. So I think it's moved from, we can save some labour here to we definitely need to save some labour now. So hopefully we've got some great solutions for you today. And don't discount anything as well. I'm going to show you some stuff from fresh cooking chefs out there. Don't discount things. If you go, no, I'd never use mashed pellets, which we've got on today, get a bag in and try it and see how it works for you. I mean, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But if it is, you can save a ton of labour in your kitchen, taking loads of hours out of your kitchen.
And the quality has come on leaps and bounds in the last few years, hasn't it, in terms of these sort of products, haven't they?
100%, absolutely. Yeah, there's some really, really good stuff there. Really good stuff.
Great. So, should we start things off?
Yeah, sure. So, sorry, Joe.
We're going to start with a luxury fish pie, is it?
Yes, we are. We're going to start with a fish pie, a good old fish pie. So, we have got, for all those that haven't seen it before, we've got these little mashed pellets there. And with the mashed pellets, you just pop them in there. You pop a little bit of butter. You don't have to put the butter in if you don't want to. It just makes it a bit more luxury. In here, we've got a little bit of milk, and we just pour the milk over. And then we'll pop that. You can actually steam the mashed pellets covered in a tray if you've got a large amount of mash that you need to do. Smaller amount of mash, you can pop it in the microwave, no problem. It's difficult in the pan because you have to keep on stirring it, but it can go covered in a tray into a steamer, and then you can do a large amount of mash there.
That's great.
And then over here we've got our fish pie, so there's no need necessarily, I don't think, to buy your fresh fish. We've got this 10 kilo mixed fish, which is a white fish, a smoked haddock and a salmon. It does vary from time to time, so all you need to do is you need to put your fish pie mix into the pan.
Is that fish from our Pier 7 range? I'm testing you. I'm throwing you on the spot.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is off the Pier 7. And then in there you can add some frozen peas, once again straight out the freezer. We've got some frozen leaf spinach, and once again I used to use leaf spinach all the time, fresh, standing there for ages, picking the stalks off, washing it all in the sink, bringing it out, sticking it all in the steamer, and ending up with a clump of spinach like that from a massive box. So once again, using frozen spinach for things like bakes. It may not work so well if you're going a la carte and you're going to put a cream spinach underneath a piece of protein. You might want something a little bit fresher. But when it's going in a pie, it doesn't matter.
No, absolutely.
It really doesn't matter. And then we've just got some Atlantic prawns. Once again with this, you can pimp this right up. You can use tiger prawns, so you can put a fish pie with tiger prawns on your menu. Freezer,
it's a great
way of
premiumising as well, if you can talk about the different fish.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Absolutely.
So I spoke about Pier 7, but that was an everyday favourites fish, I've been told.
Yes, that's
so
right.
There we go.
Yes.
But yes, Pier 7 is our brand that we use for mostly frozen fish. We also have Rockport fish, which is our brand of fish that is mostly fresh fish. So we've got that all available as well for you. Sorry, go on.
No worries, man. And then we've got a bechamel sauce, RTU, straight out the tub. You've also got other options. So you've got a bechamel here where you just add water. Once again, it's a real quick fix. You just put a layer over there.
So this is like a traditional sort of mother base, isn't it? Are you seeing this sort of type of cooking and these sorts of sauces being used more often these days?
Yeah, I mean they've always been there, mother sauces, and you can build your menu from the sauce upwards, I think.
Yeah.
So you just pop that on the top there. No need season. Comes already seasoned.
That's great.
I like a bit of cheese on the top of my fish pie.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Now, when I'm at home, I'll pop it on top of the mash, but it doesn't look so pretty when it comes out the oven for a restaurant.
Yeah.
So I keep it on the top so we can put a nice little bit of mash with a star nozzle on the top of that. And then, hopefully, my nozzle's not going to fly out the end of the piping bag now, because I've got really thin piping bags.
No pressure.
No pressure. So we fly through. I really like a star nozzle as well. And the reason why I like a star nozzle is because when it bakes, you get all those like crispy grooves over the top.
Yeah, it looks great.
Fly through that. And the beauty of having something like a fish pie on the menu as well is that when it comes to service time, you're not sweating over the stove. It's literally straight out the fridge into the oven, and you don't have to worry about having a chef at the stove trying to balance it. So it's a great solution to just put it in the oven and off you go. In here we have some white breadcrumbs, we have parsley and a bit of olive oil. I've whizzed it all up together, and then the green comes out the parsley and goes in, and it makes a nice little addition to the top of the fish pie.
I've just had a question come in asking if this pie can be prepared and frozen to use and cook at another time. I guess it depends on the freezer space.
No, because you're going to be defrosting your fish.
Cool.
But then again, I suppose if you put the fish in frozen and you can turn it around quick enough, then yeah, you could potentially. I've never frozen the ready-made mash, so you'd have to trial one, I think, because I'm not sure if there's more water content will go and it'll soften the mash too much.
Of course.
But I mean, it takes on the morning someone just to pull some frozen fish out, pop it into a tin, and you've got a nice big plate pie. And then we pop that into the oven. And as if by magic, with nuclear efficiency, we have our, let's get rid of that. We have our fish pie.
Looks great, chef. Lovely golden colour.
This is it. And then you've got the nice crispy top. You can see the little grooves in the top of the mash. And then underneath you've just got your bechamel. So I've done no cooking apart from putting it in the oven.
That's great.
So you can get, you could get your, when you sort of get the simpler jobs in the kitchen, you've got your commis chef doing it, or you've got an experienced pot wash will come over and your chef will show you how to put everything together, and that's quite straightforward. So that's for you to have a little munch on, Joe.
I'll level try. It's probably going to be the hottest thing going.
No, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
It's not much fun.
Right then.
I can confirm it is boiling hot.
Oh.
But no, it's brilliant. Really nice.
Sure, and put some chili pepper in it as well. But
see me sweat the whole session.
That's right.
Before we go on to the next dish, I just wanted to talk about this wine we've got here. So we've been speaking to our Unity team. So the Unity look after our wines, beers and spirits brands. They have kindly recommended some wine pairings for the dishes that we're talking about today. So for this fish pie, our expert team have recommended this Colombian Chardonnay, which is a really nice flavour. Our expert from Unity has mentioned that this dish really needs a big, confident and rich wine that can handle the creamy and salty flavours. And this wine does just that and more. So yeah, really great pairing opportunity there for you. Now on to the next one, chef.
Yeah. So, gnocchi. Dry stores gnocchi. Quite cheap as a core ingredient in the dish. So you've got your dry stores gnocchi. All I've done from that is that I've blanched it in a bit of boiling water and just refreshed it. So it just goes into boiling water about 2 or 3 minutes. Come out, refresh it in a bit of cold water, and you can do a big old batch of that.
Yeah, I really love gnocchi. It's always one of these things that whenever I have it, I think I should have it more often. It's a great dish and it's so easy to make, obviously in the back of house as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's nice for the menu. I think, you know, you can dress all these. You can dress this up as nicely as you like. So today we've got a Gomo red pepper pesto, which you can put just a tablespoon in there and a bit. So once again, menu description is really important, I think, when you're doing your menu. Try and get those dishes sounding really tasty when you're doing especially your simple stuff. If you can flog your simple stuff, it takes the pressure off the kitchen again. And once again, this is another dish that you just pop into the oven. And here we've got a great product. It's a multi-use tomato sauce. This stops you having to sweat off your onions, sweat off your garlic. It's all in the can ready to go.
Yeah.
And that's a Gustoso.
Yeah, again, Gustoso, this is an exclusive brand to us as well, isn't it? And what else could you use that with? What other things have been using that sauce
for? The Gustoso.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of dishes coming up.
There we go.
Soon, so stay tuned, man. So you just pop that in there, give it a quick stir. We've got a little bowl here as well. Just going to pop it in the bowl.
It's quite, you could premiumise it quite easily, couldn't you? You could add different proteins and things like that, couldn't you? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, this is a vegetarian dish we've got going on here. And then once again, we're going to kick in with the bechamel.
Yep.
Just over the top. Oh, sorry. I'm going to boo the... so we've got some Tomarosso tomatoes. So once again, that can go in on the menu description. You've got your Tomarosso tomatoes, so sun-dried tomatoes in there, or sun-blushed tomatoes, whichever one you like to choose. And then over the top of that, we're going to put the bechamel, nice and easy. Now you can do a stack of these up, depending on your service. You can do a tray, 2 tray, whatever, and it'll just go into your counter fridge or your service fridge, ready to go for service. And with regards to cooking this as well, I mean, I'm cooking it in the oven. I'm cooking it in the oven today, but quite easily, you could, if you've got a fast service, you could ping it in the microwave, and then you can just pass it under your grill.
Really easy.
Absolutely. So we'll have a bit of cheese on here as well. If you like a bit of cheese, and again, your cheese can change on this as well. Use a gorgonzola, a dolce latte, or another funky cheese, a bit Gruyere or something like that. That adds to the menu description sounding so much better, and then selling these quick to do dishes. And also, you can give a premium price when you start naming little things onto the menu. So once again, we're going to put this little crunchy top on.
You've also had a question asking, would you be able to make this dish vegan at all?
No, because there's you can't. The gnocchi's not vegan.
Yeah.
So this is vegetarian. It's a vegetarian dish, and that's why I've used cheddar instead of parmesan.
Right.
Because obviously parmesan is not vegetarian.
Yeah.
So. Pop that in there. Okay. And we have. So there's the gustoso. And we've got the plating up now. What I've done as an addition, because obviously premiumising the dish, and you know that's a really relatively cheap dish to put together. Gnocchi, tomato sauce, beche, a little bit of crumb. So you've got some wiggle room to play with making it more premium. So what I've done is I've got the little thing there. Just put that there.
Smells unbelievably good.
And it's there, and you've got the nice crispy crumbs, so you've got that bit of texture.
Yeah.
And just here, I've got a sourdough baguette.
Nice.
And I've filled that with Stilton and got garlic and rosemary butter. And it's just a pack of butter, chopped up rosemary, in you go, chopped up garlic, in you go. Mix a bit of crumbled Stilton through. We've got a lovely sourdough baguette in our business as well, but it doesn't have to be sourdough, it could be anything. And then you can put that on your menu as a Stilton, garlic, rosemary, sourdough bread with gnocchi, red pepper pesto, Tomarosso tomatoes, crispy crumb. And that's for you. That's for you to have a go with.
Thank you.
Mate.
I'll give it a go. It looks amazing.
No worries. It's going to be a hot one, Joe. I've just got to warn you as well. There's a roulette dish going on here. I have got something very spicy somewhere along the line, and you won't know it's coming to you.
I managed to get lucky with that one. Managed to get lucky. That is really, really nice. Thank you, Chef. I mean, that flavour is brilliant. So easy to make as well.
Yeah, straight in the oven. As
Brilliant.
I said, it's not just the prep time; it's the service time as well. The energy that goes into a service, and having these dishes that you can just put into the oven is fantastic.
Oh yeah, I'd happily eat that. Happily. Now moving on to the wine pairing for this one. I would drink the wine, but I think I wouldn't make it until the end of the session. So I'm just going to be showing them. So this one is a bottle of Yeelan Single Vineyard Sauvignon Blanc. It's a really good crowd pleaser of a wine, and the uni team are saying that about this wine. They said this wine displays the subtle green tones with hints of bell pepper and spice, but has enough freshness and lift to revitalise the palate with every sip. So it's perfect for a dish like that with the gnocchi. Amazing, great flavours in that. Right, Chef, what are we going for next?
Right, then I've got one I prepared earlier, and once again it's using the Gustoso tomato sauce just to show you the versatility of it.
Great.
So I've got a vegan Herrera, but I am going to be adding yogurt, so it will become vegetarian, but you don't need to add the yogurt.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to really highlight here was not only the sauce, but also the frozen prepped diced carrot. So I think that you can have, once again, it's in the freezer, it's there ready to go, it's not an expensive ingredient. I think once you put things like prep frozen veg into stew-based or soup-based sauces, then there is a slight difference, but not. You've got to try and balance out what you're gaining in the kitchen to what's going out. So all I've done here is I've sweated off some cumin, coriander, dry roasted cumin, coriander, and cinnamon. And then all I've done is I've cooked some green speckled lentils. I've got some diced carrot, and I've put in a tin of chickpeas. Harira originally is made with minced lamb, I believe.
Right.
And then you've got a nice hearty dish. So then there's a bit of veg stock. Then there's a bit of veg stock in there. And I've mixed. This is when it becomes non-vegan. Although I suppose you can use vegan yogurt as well. So I've got a Greek yogurt mixed with a bit of harissa. So you pop that on the top. Now, Joe, is this the roulette?
You're going to spice me out.
Is this the spicy roulette? Got some toasted almonds.
This is a really good winter dish, isn't it? Really nice, warm feeling. Perfect.
Really wholesome. Oh, actually, I won't use that. I'll just do this. And then we put a little bit of fresh coriander on it.
Is that fresh coriander from our Oliver Kay brand? It
is from our Oliver Kay brand. And what I want to do, really, I really wanted to highlight the sort of prep veg, really, because that was something I'd never use in a fresh cook. I'd scoff at something like that. But when you put it in a dish like that, it's really hard to sort of distinguish between the fresh and the frozen.
And it's so simple and easy for you guys to put together, isn't it? So,
absolutely.
Right, am I ready to try this one?
Yeah. So the only thing I've cooked really there is the green lentils. That's the only real skill. Everything else has been just putting things into the pan and then bringing it to a simmer. Mix a bit of the yogurt in there.
There's loads of flavour in there. That tastes really, really nice, and it has a little bit of a kick to it, which is nice. Nice bit. Not too much. You haven't got me this far, so it's doing good. Really nice.
Wonderful.
Right, on to the wine pairing for that one. So for this one, the pairing chosen by Unity is this. I'm going to test now. It's a Pecorino, it's called. It is a brilliant wine. It's a lighter wine. And it's one that's filled with freshness, zest, and a honeyed texture, apparently. And then they say this is ideal for that. So, brilliant wine to try for that one. I wish I could try it. What have we got next then, Chef?
So, we have got a Thai pie. And sticking on the theme of the gustoso as well. Yep. I'm going to show you how to quickly knock together a vegan Thai pie. So we've got the everyday favourite square pie lids. What I like to do, because pie lids never quite rise quite high enough for me, so I brushed a little bit of soy milk on the top of one pie lid, put the other pie lid on the top, brush that with soy milk, and then to sort of give it a little bit more texture or sort of an interesting look, rather than it being just sort of like a plain puff pastry lid. I've just brushed it and sprinkled some cumin seeds there, and there's some pumpkin seeds there, which will act as a natural garnish.
That sounds great.
And also delicious as well when you come to taste it.
They look fantastic.
So in here, we've got the Knorr Red Thai curry paste. I'm going to pop that, a little scoop of that in there. We will need to cook this out slightly. So I'm going to go over to the stove, and I'll just give that a little cook out, like so.
That's good.
Just to get it going. And then in that, shortly, we're going to add the gustoso. And we're going to add, obviously, coconut milk to go with Thai. Once again, this dish, sort of, when you're dealing with pastes, it still says sweat off onions, sweat off this, sweat off that. So by using the gustoso, you don't have to, you can cut that process out of the prep of the onion. I mean, you can also get our frozen prepped onion. Yeah. We've got frozen diced onion, you can use that.
Absolutely,
so if you did want to not use the gustoso, you can make shortcuts somewhere else,
If you were looking to utilise a vegan option, but also if you wanted to use different proteins, like meat proteins, what could you have in that? Could you try fish in this one as well, or anything like
Yeah, you
that?
could have fish, salmon, chicken.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The world is your oyster on it, mate.
So obviously, vegan is massive business at the moment. I saw a stat the other day that there's over 1.5 million people now, up until last year, who are now vegan. And that doesn't even count for all the people that are eating less meat. So there's loads of vegan alternatives. It's just getting better and better, isn't it, Damon?
Yeah.
In terms of the solutions.
Yeah. Well, the business is there, whereas before, I mean, I've been in kitchens since 1992, Joe, probably.
It's longer than I've been alive.
It is bonkers. And I had, until I left kitchens in 2017 to come to work for Bidfood, and I had, in that whole time, 2 requests for vegan meals. I'm not joking, from 1992 to 2017. But now, it's sort of like it's got to be there.
It's big business, yeah.
Absolutely. And because the demand is so much higher, manufacturers are now willing to give it the time because there's money to be, there's money to be made, and there's opportunity. So they take it. I don't want to blow your mind with this, so I'm going to have a little taste in the middle of it.
Okay.
But while that's coming up to a little simmer, I will go through this as well.
We've been asked a question. What you think is the next big thing or trend you think is going to come through, in your personal opinion?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if my personal opinion is worth much, to be honest with you. I mean, I love all the sort of trend stuff and the world food and all that. But also, I miss like a really nice glaze, just a nice homemade glazed lemon tart, man, with a bit of raspberry ice cream on the side. I love that. Or some just sort of like real simple braised pig's cheeks or ox cheeks, or a nice bourguignon with some nice mash and crusty bread. I mean, I love that. I don't know if that's been because we're coming into autumn and winter.
Yeah,
and I like the idea of the stew going on. But I do like the classics.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the gnocchi as well, we've got a great cannelloni. We've got a cannelloni, but you buy the cannelloni tubes that are filled, and we've got a meat and a veggie.
Yeah.
I think spinach and ricotta and a bolognese one, and you can do that. You can put the cannelloni in, and you put cannelloni on a menu with some nice bread next to it. I mean, I'd go for that.
Absolutely,
all the time.
100%.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
So, just here, I also want to highlight again some frozen veg, because it's going to be going into a pie mix. We've got this here, which is a ratatouille. It's already prepped, as you can see, diced, ready to go, and that's the frozen everyday favourites. And here we've got frozen cut green beans. Lovely to see green beans in a Thai curry. We've got chickpeas. Something else that people miss out on all the time is putting protein into a vegetarian dish.
Absolutely, yeah.
So having chickpeas is a really cheap product, but a really great protein intake for a vegetarian or a vegan. And then here I've pushed the boat a little bit. I've got tinned new potatoes. I was a bit unsure about these.
I'm not sure about that.
We did a little test on them. But when they go into pie, they're actually all right. So you just get the tin out, you cut them in half. Obviously you can use fresh new potatoes, but I do like a new potato in a curry, or a potato of some description in a curry.
I guess it's so natural to think that's a bit odd, having a tinned potato when you can get such great fresh options. But I suppose when it's in a pie like this or whatever, it doesn't necessarily matter too much, does it, at all?
No, I don't think so. I mean, to be honest with you, straight out the tin, not that great. in a pie, it's all right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the job.
So just pop those in there. Bring those up to the simmer, and I'm going to pop a little bit of coriander in the end, and we want it to be a little bit thick, because it's not. This dish isn't necessarily, because it's a pie. The dish needs to have sort of like a cream, more of a creamy, firmer finish. Now there are the pie evangelists out there that will go, it's not a pie unless it's got a pastry base.
Yeah.
But these are shortcuts. So if you want to do a pastry base, do a pastry base by all means. But this is about the shortcut style.
Absolutely.
So we'll bring that up to the boil. And while I'm bringing that up, I'm just going to warm my pie lid for you, Joe. So what would you like? Would you like pumpkin seed or cumin?
Let's go for cumin.
Okay.
Let's go for it. We've had a question come in as well. So the question is, as an operator, how do you still give the perception of quality where you might be using some cheaper ingredients?
Once again, it's premiumising it. It's, you've got a fish pie there with a frozen, chopped up fish pie mix, which is perfectly fine, and you're going to get that. That's going to be a lot cheaper than buying a fresh fish. Yeah. Put 2 or 3 king prawns in there, or tiger prawns, and automatically you've got a premium dish.
Absolutely.
And you can serve that with some nice buttered greens, perhaps toss the buttered greens in some truffle butter, not truffle butter, probably lemon and dill butter, if you wanted to make a little bit of butter.
You can use little amounts of the premium ingredients, can't you, as well? So it's not too expensive, but it adds a little touch to your dish, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
But also, it's how you present it as well. So obviously we've got a catering supplies team here at Bidfood, and they can sort of support you with how the best way to dish it or place it up, and then you can add sort of value to your dish by just doing little touches to make it stand out.
There we go. Put a little bit of corn flour in there just to get that thickness.
We've been asked another question about fish. We've been asked, do we sell fresh fish?
Do we sell fresh fish?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We sell great fresh fish.
Yes, we have our Rockport fish range, which is fantastic. Fresh fish that you can get.
And once again, what we said about this turning in, I think tasting it, I think they could do with a squeeze of lime just at the end, just to give it a nice zesty finish. But, I've just done a pie mix and I've not chopped a single thing.
Yeah, it's so easy, isn't it?
And then we're going to put some fresh coriander in there. Just toss that through.
It's really great if you've got limited resources back at house, isn't it, to do these sorts of recipes, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think, in there you have got affordable ingredients as well, and once again you can pimp that as much as you want. You can put your king prawns in there as well if you wanted to, just to give it that sort of premium feel. Perhaps serve it with a side of something interesting as well. I love it when you go to a restaurant or a bar and you get a surprise addition at the side. It might be something like they might drop down a bit of collie cheese or something like that you weren't expecting. And for me, that's sort of like brilliant. I think it like really adds value to money, value for money.
Absolutely.
So we're going to pop all that in there. So Joe, we've got that there.
Whilst you set up this, I'll go through our wine pairing for this one. So this one is going to test me completely. So it's called a Les Muguettes Grenache Rosé. I totally butchered that's how it's saying, but it's a rosé wine that is a perfect pairing opportunity for this dish. Lee from Unity says he's recommended it, saying this is an off-the-wall combination, but the wine brings a great fruity refreshment and vibrant red fruits that will cool the palate and leave it wanting another bite. So he's a great salesman with those sort of terminology, isn't he? How's it going, Chef?
You're all done, man.
Ready to try?
Yeah.
Here we go.
And I think also when you're doing up your menu description as well, talking about the menu description, do try and make your easier dishes and dishes that you've got a higher GP on sound so much more appealing and more appetizing to try and bring the customer over. And I just think spicy.
There's a bit more spice in that one. That is really, really nice. I tried the potato as well because I was a bit skeptical of it, but that works perfectly and that sort of thing, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the longer it sort of sits in the sauce, we've done it quite quick today, the longer it sits in the sauce, the potato will absorb all the flavour of that curry as well. But once again, not a single knife or chopping board needed there. There's fresh cook chefs out there damning me right now, I'm sure. But think about it, it's a consideration, it really is.
Absolutely, yeah. Right, so now we're going to go to quick to assemble salads, are we?
Yep, quick assemble salads.
So what you're going to start with is, what are you going for?
We're going to go for the chicken first.
So this is a Mexican roast chipotle chicken salad, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've got these frozen roast chicken fillets here, and they're great. They tear lovely. They've got a lovely tear on them. And for the product that they are, you just defrost and they're ready to go.
That's great. Could you use different cuts of chicken as well for a salad like that?
You can do, but then if you go into crispy thighs and that, you're talking about then cooking.
Yeah.
You've got the cooking elements involved, where this isn't really. I wanted to sort of eliminate all that cooking, but once again, you can use the idea of the base salad.
Yeah.
And if you want to roast off some chicken thighs, that's fine. It's easy.
Absolutely.
These defrost probably in a few hours.
Yeah.
I'd say. So what we've got here, we've gone coriander heavy. Don't know what it is about chefs. You sort of get an idea of an ingredient in your mind, and you look at your menu after you've written it, and you go, "Oh my God, there's coriander on absolutely everything." So the only prep I've done here, I've actually got fresh new potatoes, Joe, as a special treat.
Nice. Are they Oliver Kay? Are they Oliver Kay?
Yes, they are Oliver Kay.
Very good.
So all I've done is I've put the chipotle paste over that with a little bit of olive oil. Nice. And just roasted them in the oven. So they can go in warm or cold. I've got them cold now.
When you're creating like a chicken salad, could you be a little bit cheeky and shred up the chicken to try and make it look like there's more chicken than there is if you're trying to reduce the chicken?
Absolutely. And you can also, put the chicken on the top as well.
Yeah.
Sort of like put in probably a third of it in the salad, so nobody because you don't want people to feel robbed, when they get to the bottom. There's nothing worse than getting to the bottom of the salad and finding out you've got nothing but lettuce. Yeah. So you need to put a little bit in there, and then put the rest on the top just to make it look really nice. We've got some prepped cos. You can use rocket leaf or anything.
Yeah.
On that one, any leaf. And then just here, actually I'll pop a little bit more cos in there. And then just here, we've got some tin corn. We've got some tin kidney beans. So once again, another affordable protein in the kidney beans. And you can be quite generous with those. And then I've also made a quick dressing. So it's 50% mayonnaise, 50% Greek yogurt, a little bit of chipotle in there as well, and a tiny little bit of water just to thin it out. So we're just going to pop that in there. A bit more for fun. Give it a quick mix. And once again, the only prep I've done here is the new potatoes. We want to pop a little. Have I put the chicken in there already? No, I haven't, have I? Pop a little bit of chicken in there.
You've got to use some
chicken. You don't want to feel robbed on your salad, do you? Put your salad in there. Pop that in there. And I think the good thing is with the the cost comes in already prepped for you as well, so there's no need to wash and do all that business. Finish off with some potato, some beans and some sweet corn.
Good colours, nice, looks
Absolutely.
Good.
Got the chicken. We've also got some feta cheese, crumbled feta.
Nice.
You've also got a little bit of guacamole. Big dollop of guacamole on the top. A few leaves to give it that sort of fresh look.
It looks great. It looks very good.
A little bit of coriander, dare I say it.
Very nice.
And then we're going to finish it with some crunched up tortillas.
Nice. It's a nice little touch, that a little bit of crunch in your dish.
And then you've got the crunched up tortillas there. So you've got the chicken, the beans, the sweet corn, the roast potatoes, the guac. And the guac acts as a dressing as well. You can put some salsa on the top of it as well if you like. We'll put some, I think it needs a little bit of colour. We'll put some, obviously, if you are adding ingredients at the last minute, you need to make sure you got your allergens sorted on that as well.
Absolutely,
Right, so do you want to give that a go, Joe?
Yes, sure. It's not easy eating on camera.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Really good, chef. Really good.
Yeah. You made the right mess here.
I know,
Be a rubbish
sorry.
dinner partner. I'm going to have dinner with you. Right. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let me have a quick wipe. Sorry about this. Okay, so verdict.
Yeah, it's lovely. That really,
Yeah.
really nice. I like the little crunch as well. It adds something a little bit different to it, so it's great.
Cool.
So you're now going to do a blackened roast salmon salad, aren't you?
Yep, we certainly are.
So what salmon are you using today?
This is Pier 7.
There we go. We've got the
Pier
Pier 7.
7,
There
yeah,
it is.
absolutely.
There
This
it
is a
is.
Pier
That's
7
our-
salmon fillet.
That's our frozen fish range. There
That's
we go.
it, yeah. So, you know, I think also when you're doing a menu and you want to, you know, crockery's expensive. Going on to crockery's expensive.
Yeah.
But it can naturally garnish your food if you pick the right crockery for the style of food that you're doing, I think. And that then leads on to, if you can find things that can naturally garnish themselves, that means you can cut down on the garnish that you actually need for the dish too, you know. That'll cut down. So that's the Pier 7, the centre cut salmon fillet. And all I've done with this is that I've taken it, defrosted the salmon, and I've put a little bit of olive oil over it. I've sprinkled some blackened Cajun seasoning, popped onto the roasting tray, and then popped it in the oven for 12 minutes, roasted it, chilled it. So this is a cold salad, ready to go. This can be a warm salad if you want it to be.
Yep.
You know, it's quite easy to have that marinated up in your fridge. Check comes on, pop your salmon in for 12 minutes, build your salad, and away you go. So it can be. But if you want to do, I mean, going into winter, you probably might want to do this warm.
Yeah.
Or you can pre-roast the salmon and then just quickly flash it.
Would you use any other types of fish at all?
Yeah. You can use anything really. I think anything that's sort of got a meatiness to it really. It's gonna hold up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna carry on using the cars, the prep cars. And then in that, we've got another product, which I don't know if people are aware of this, but it's frozen avocado
Oh, wow.
slices. These are great used on the same day. The day after, they start going a little bit soft, if I'm to be honest. But avocado's a real problem when you put avocado on a menu, because you never know what you're going to get when it comes in.
And if it's not ripe, and then it's all the problems with that.
You know, even when you buy ripe and ready, sometimes they come in like cannonballs. So this is a great option to make sure that you've always got ripe avocado on if you want to put it into a salad.
That's great, yeah.
Works well in a compound salad rather than just sitting by itself. You can also squash it up with a little bit of lime juice, a little bit of salt and pepper, a bit of chilli, and then you can do it as smashed advo. Really easy. And then that's a great one on muffins with a poached egg. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the advo into the bowl, and in that we're going to do the kidney beans, again the chickpeas. I'm going to put in some of the Tomarosso tomatoes and a little bit of the oil. I'll garnish it up with that in a bit. I think a little bit more. I'm going to break half the salmon, a third of the salmon. You don't want to get robbed at the bottom. A third of the salmon over the top. You know, it's up to you as well. You can put the whole piece of salmon on the top if you wish. It's just personal choice. It's just what I like to do. So you can do whatever you want. We've got this bowl here. These are just random bowls we're doing. We're not.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. And then the avocado starts mashing up a bit as well, so it acts as a dressing inside the sauce.
That's a great blend.
Inside the salad, sorry. Put a little bit of sprinkle on the top. Some more little tomatoes, just to give it that little bit of colour. And then we break up the rest of the salmon, just on the top of there, like that. And We are good to go, Joe.
Just in the interest of time, I'll skip this one and we'll go straight on to the side salads, but that looks amazing,
Okay.
Chef. So now we're going to move on to just a couple of quick sides opportunities that you see.
Yeah. So I'll start off with the halloumi. So we've got these halloumi fries.
I love halloumi. It's a good start.
Absolutely. We've got a coated one, and we've got a coated as in crumb coated, and then we've got this one here. And all I've served with that is a Japanese teriyaki sauce, which is straight out the bottle into the dish. Garnished it with a bit of coriander, and it's straight in the fryer. You can only fry them, so you're going to have to have a fryer to do this dish. So straight in the fryer. Once again, I think that if you use the right dish, you can save on the garnish. There's no.
Well, brilliantly you've played that up. It looks like a premium side, doesn't it, really? So it's like a...
Yeah, absolutely. And it depends, it all depends on your establishment and what you're used to doing. And if you think you can cut back on these things, then the option's there. You can do it. I think when I was in kitchens, I had my blinkers on and I did it the way I've always done it.
Yeah, of course.
And now we're in completely different times.
Different times, yeah.
So it's time to rethink it. Okay, so the next one, we've got straight out of the bag, jalapeno tempura vegetables, and in there we've got the gustoso again with the harissa. So I've mixed a bit of harissa as a little dip, and then you just sort of dip it in, and away you go. You can swap them around if you want, which is how it was meant to be. So you'd have the tempura with the barbecue, and then you'd have your halloumi with that sort of Middle Eastern feel.
In it. Yeah, such a nice flavour and trendy. It's you've seen it in a lot of menus now, harissa, and it's a nice way to just add like a smoky feel to your dish, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
It's great.
And I think the great thing about tempura, if you can do it fresh, you've got your veg in your fridge, you've got your baby corn or your mange tout or whatever, just knock up a bit of tempura batter if you've got that fresh cookability, and then you can just pop any veg that you've got in there. It can be sweet potato slices, whatever you like, pop in the fryer, and it gives you a lovely, lovely starter. And then you serve it with a little bit of sauce at the side and perhaps a little bit of coriander.
I love this coriander.
I can't get coriander out of my mind, man.
On every dish. It's every dish.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great.
All the dishes.
Thank you so much for that, Damon. All of it was amazing. You didn't manage to blow my head off, so you failed in that task. But thank you again for joining us today, Damon. I really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
And thank you to everyone that's joined us today to join us in this kitchen. It's been fantastic. I hope you've really enjoyed it. As I said earlier, all the recipes and information will come to you at the end of the day. Hopefully on the screen there'll be a poll that appears on the screen just to give us a little bit of feedback about how you found today. If you've got any other feedback, please do relay it to the team. It's really appreciated if you could just let us know how you found it so we can improve things for the next time. Last thing I want to say is just a quick reminder that we have got the Unlock Your Menu campaign. So this slots into the Unlock Your Menu campaign. And like I said earlier, this is all about supporting you through all the challenges that you're facing at the moment and finding opportunities to maximise and unlock the full potential of your menu at this time and hopefully for a profitable future. Next up, we've got one more session left of the day. We've got Holly Rogers and Martin Eshelby joining us in the Bidfood Kitchen here, and they'll be talking about trends for 2022. So really exciting things to go through today. Martin's the Bidfood Kitchen expert, and it'd be great to be back here. But last thing again, thank you again for joining us, and I'll see you next time.